TJ Miller did a viewing party for the Norm Macdonald thing. So the Norm Macdonald came out with this new special, which basically he just did his material on Zoom. And then he put together this maybe 20 of us that watched it on a screen. So it was kind of like watching in front of an audience. It was very, very cool, right?
It was really funny.
Also, I'm just very impressed with the thing that I was always like when I watched the Ricky Gervais special. I thought one of the things that I thought was good about him was that his misdirections, they always you actually don't he doesn't pick a thing that he doesn't agree with and then misdirect. So a lot of people will start with for example, they would do a joke like, I actually, if you think about it, I think women are stronger than men. And then they'll do something. But when they do that, women are stronger as men, but you go, what? You think that? It seems like something you don't think. Like, yeah. Or as a girl go, I actually think that Trump winning's good because he should get killed.
Where's he going with this one?
Everyone's thinking, where are you going with this one? Because you don't actually think that. So what I liked about Ricky Gervais was the positive thing I liked about him was his misdirections. He goes, like when he says, I know what it's like, it's probably hard to be, a minority where you're 1% or 5% and and it feels like you're sticking the world, whereas I'm a rich white multimillionaire or whatever. Right.
Yeah.
And that seems like what it is already, you know what I mean? And then he switches and then he goes, and we're only, 1%. So imagine how I feel.
Yeah.
But there was no point where you go, why does he think that? So I always hate jokes like that. I do sometimes where I'll do a joke where to get to it, I need to say something that I too much don't agree with. And I hate the way that it like makes me feel where everyone's brain starts wandering and it kind of changes and then you change it back, but the damage is already done.
For sure.
So I don't love that.
Well, because it also sows the seeds of like people, because it honestly sows a little distrust in the audience where they go,
exactly,
you just lost like a little bit of my trust for future jokes.
That's so what it is.
And if you're trying to rely on this surprise, and then they kind of like they see it coming a little more now. Yeah. Right. Because they were like, well, you lied to me back there. So yeah, now I'm looking out for lies.
So the Norm Macdonald special, I thought it was the thing specifically that stuck out to me was he's just like the best at making like complex points without ever doing any sort of even like a little bit of preachiness.
Yeah.
He's like the least preachy comedian that has like so many good points and hypocrisies.
Well, because he plays like almost, he plays
so dumb.
He plays so dumb because he has that kind of like hosiery, he's like a talk like, cause just this slow and very Canadian.
I'm just so dumb. Yeah.
You kind of, yeah. Like, I mean, he doesn't like not the way
because I was the head of the curve on liking sluts on account of if we were mean to sluts, they'd stop being sluts.
The flight attendant joke was so funny. That was like,
what was that again?
The best one. The one where he goes, when I was the female flight attendants, they called them stewardesses, and then he's like, and then the male flight attendants, because there was male flight attendants and we called them what do we call them? And like literally in your head you're answering it and he goes, wait, what were you gonna say?
Exactly.
Like he's talking to the audience.
No, it's so true because a lot of people would make that joke. They would have been like, we call them gays.
Yeah, and the thing is you naturally want to predict the joke.
A bit of me was thinking, I was like, he's not going to do that joke, is he?
know, totally, right?
And then he got me.
Yeah, he got me too. That's why I was like, oh man, and it kind of used the format well.
Yeah, he made his joke. He was making fun of the format he was making you made your point without actually making it.
And you're on this Zoom thing and but it was fucking that joke was so good.
Yeah, so it's just so cool. But the reason I was bringing up comedy is there's a little bit of controversy. Yeah, so
by the way, this is kind of probably a good time to announce it, but I just signed up. I'm going to be doing a residency at Rumors Comedy.
There you go.
Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Thank you for watching that clip, supporting the channel. If you like The Boyscast, there's a new episode every week at patreon.com/TheBoyscast.
That's patreon.com/TheBoyscast.